الله أكبر الله.
Like some of the guys who are married, they'll tell you sometimes they go home, I hope my wife's in a good mood today, because women ain't haram for us. We're allowed to get married. So if that ambition is to become rich, you're gonna go for it. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. We should start by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for gathering us here in a gathering to remember Him. We could have been anywhere else on a Friday evening, but Allah gave us the tawfiq, the blessing to be here, to remember Him, to benefit from some of His advice. May it add to our good deeds and our scales on the Day of Judgment. So I've been given the topic to talk about the test of life. I want to make it a little bit more conversational, like I was saying. Let's make it interactive. This is our circle. Because life, tests, the hustle and bustle is something we are all used to. We all wake up, we all live life. We're all experts at life if you think about it in that sense. We're all experts because we all have the same world, the same life, but just different characteristics and different variables and factors. And obviously different flavors. So I want to give you 2 or 3 basic principles of life. From the moment we are born, there's one thing that human beings all want. The moment a baby's born, from the moment you're born, the first thing you want is you want to breathe, you want your mother, you want food. Basically, you just want to survive. It's the basic principle of life. You just want ease, comfort, you want to be secure. And without knowing, that happens throughout our life, even to today. So when you got out your house, if some of you work, you want an easy commute to work, you don't want any traffic. Some of us don't even want to go to work, we just want to work from home. Yeah. Some of us hope, I hope my boss ain't in, or hope the tasks that I have to do today are non-existent. We wish for an easy life. And that's the nature of human beings. We just want comfort. We want to be able to relax and have it easy. And it doesn't just go to just work, it's everything. Like some of the guys who are married, they'll tell you, sometimes they go home, I hope my wife's in a good mood today. I hope, the kids are behaving today. I hope I can just go home and just put my feet up and just relax. They want the easy life. We all do, don't we? Who doesn't want comfort and ease? You get it with, for the younger guys, you just go home, I just hope my mum don't nag at me, hope everything. You just want it easy, relax, you just want to sit in front of the telly, maybe play some PlayStation, watch some, Netflix, just want to relax. This is the default of life. This is by design one of the basic necessities of human beings. We just want ease and comfort. And there is another reality that we have to accept, is from the moment we are born, the world tells us something opposite. It says, if you want to survive, if you want to live, you need to breathe. You need food. If you want protection, you need shelter, you need security. The world is a harsh place. It, by design, requires you to go out there and struggle and strive. You have to hustle. That's the world, and that's from when you were a baby. Even now, you can't. There isn't a person on the planet who doesn't have struggles. Donald Trump, President of the United States. You think he's not worried? I need to win that election. I need to become the president. You think even the Queen doesn't wake up and have worries. I think a few years ago, the royal family were under stress whether the royal family should exist or not. They have these silly debates and discussions every time.
She's dead.
Oh yeah, she is dead, isn't she? But the point is, everyone has issues, rich or poor, yeah, young or old. You can't escape problems. You can't escape struggles of life. The fact that you have to eat, sleep, and protect yourself from the world tells you that the world is built to test you. The world is built to challenge you. The world is built to put you through trials and tribulations. And I don't need to tell you that. Like I said, we're all experts of life here. This goes without any explanation. So why am I saying that? Why am I talking about all this? Because sometimes you need to spell it out. There comes a point in life you forget. What I mean by forget is, like when you come here, how come you guys are not talking? Because you know there's like a norm. It's like, nah, the speaker speaks, we relax and sit. You don't go on the tube and start dancing like you do at home, or you don't do that in the waiting room in your doctor's. There's a practice there where you realize now you got to be in a certain way. You learn through life eventually that, you know what, it's all about comfort, it's all about ease, it's all about me. I need to get these shoes, I need to get those trainers, I need to get that fancy car, I need to make it big, I need to be that big guy. I don't know, these big names they have, like Andrew Tate or Steve Jobs. I have to be like 50 Cent, whoever it is. You just want comfort, 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 comfort every day of your life. It goes without saying, like I was saying, you were born to want comfort. But then in that journey we forget that Jannah's not on earth. We live a delusion. We almost self-delude ourselves thinking that Jannah is on earth. That comfort is going to be here. And the reason I have to say you have to spell it out, because you'll be in for a shock. You know when you were young and when you went to school, a lot, from what I know from my experiences, a lot of the boys and a lot of the guys, they don't study hard. It's always the girls who study a little bit harder or pass the exams. And then they take it all as a joke. They're messing around in the classroom, they're disrupting the class. And then what happens when school's finished and everyone's graduated or whatnot, they all have to go out and get a job. What happens to them? They're in for a big shock. Life's not a game anymore. It's not a play anymore. It's serious. I can't get money for the best phones. I can't get money for food. I can't go out with my friends. All of this hits you. Just realize life isn't a joke. I mean, some of the brothers who got married, they can tell you, yeah, before you get married, you think, yeah, it's going to be roses. We're going to, dance around trees, hiding behind the leaves, and you think, and then what happens one day, bam, you just go through an argument, you go through issues, you go through problems and fights. So what I'm saying is the Muslim perspective of life is there's good times and there's hard times. But we're built to know that this life is not the end or be all destination. This isn't our final destination. This is temporary life. And that's a very, very important reminder, because we forget. Like I said, you wake up one thing in mind, which is number one. I need to look after number one, me. I need to get food, I need to look after myself, get myself the fancy. I need to make it big for me. When you forget, in that journey, that fight for becoming number one, or like 50 senses, you get rich or you die hard trying, you forget this world isn't built for Jannah. This world isn't built for luxury. It isn't built for you to have, I don't know, whatever it is, a Lamborghini and whatnot. It isn't built for that. It's built to test you, put you under trials and tribulations. Yeah. So that's like the foundation I want to build our conversation on. And if I've said anything wrong, tell me now, because Tell me where I've gone wrong. These are the principles of life. This, if you don't accept it, it will hit you hard and you won't bounce back from it. So as a Muslim then, how are we supposed to go through this journey in life? And there's a hadith of the Prophet that talks about how a Muslim should be a traveller in this life. So how many of you guys have been on holiday here or been abroad? Enough of you, yeah? Alright. When you go to the airport, you got to take your passports, you got to take your documents, you got to go sit down in the airport, relax, wait for your train, the gates. It's all like really serious stuff, isn't it? You got to get there 2 hours before. If you don't get there a certain time, you're going to lose your flight and you lost all that money. When you're sitting there, you get a bit hungry. You think, oh, there's some good food here. The whole place is packed with food places. So you go and eat. And then they have all these duty free and all these shops. You think, oh, I like that. I want to buy that. I want to buy that phone, that watch, or whatever it is. But any time in that process, do you think, you know what, forget my plane. I'm going to make my life here. I'm just going to find a little corner and I'm going to build my empire here. I'm going to make my house here. I'm going to just live here. No, you don't do that. It's silly, isn't it? Because you have to travel. You're a traveller. You take what you need for the journey. You take whatever food you require, whatever things you need, but you remember your intention. You remember your purpose, which is you need to get on that plane and travel to that wherever you're going. You take your documents and you travel. That's the life of a Muslim. This life, we take our provisions, we fulfill our desires and what is allowed and not allowed. We stay away from. But you take what is yours, enough to help you get to your final destination. It's like crossing a bridge. When you go across the bridge, you don't say, okay, I'm going to stop in the middle of the bridge, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini here, I'm going to live it. No, you have to cross over. This life is just a crossover to the next life. And if you don't believe me, go to the graves. All of human history, everyone who's ever existed on this planet, they're buried somewhere. Allah says, how many nations before you have perished? So, without a shadow of a doubt, we will meet that fate too. And how long does a person live? Some of us are, 20 years old, 30, 40. We wake up thinking, yeah, when I'm 30 years old, I'm going to do this, do that. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for any one of us. This life is a temporary, short period. And the next life is permanent. It's like if somebody comes to you and says, you can have a Ferrari, or you can have, Elon Musk's empire and business, or you can have a small grocery shop or a chicken and chip shop or whatever. Everybody will choose the bigger stuff, the better stuff. This is like, you'll be stupid or you'll be silly to go for the grocery. Why? Because once you got all that millions, you can buy 10 grocery shops, isn't it? Same way, if you buy this dunya, this world, this temporary life, in exchange for the afterlife, which is eternal, you'll be that same stupid person, that silly person who does that. That transaction is just, it's ridiculous. Why would you do that? And this is what my talk's about, the test of life. There's so many things designed to distract us from that, to make us forget about the next life. It's so easy as well for them now. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone's on TikTok, Insta, Facebook. Let's take some of the things they show you on social media. All these beautiful, amazing food places. Some guy's cutting up some big steak and he's feeding you with it. Rubbing his salt on the big beef, or this new burger joint opened, or the latest, I don't know, whatever trend of bubble tea, whatever it is, all these dessert parlors, it's just in your face. And it just makes you like, yeah, I need to go hit that, I need to go there, I need to go with my friends. That's what it does. It's just selling you, and you're probably like, this is all halal though, isn't it? Aren't we allowed to have all of this? Yeah, sure. Go out there, have it. It's allowed, but remember what it's doing to you in perspective of your goal of the hereafter. It's making you want the dunya more, making you want and forget that there is even an afterlife. There's other things on there. How many guys in there, like, who wants to get rich? Click on this button now. Oh, let me tell you 10 tips to get rich. Got to do this scheme, that scheme. You know what? They're just offering you the whole world. Yeah. The truth is, yeah, it's all such lies as well. Such lies. It's incredible. But forget that. The point I'm trying to say is they're just selling you the dunya. They're just selling you the world. Some other guy, I don't know, let's say he's not selling anything. He's just showing you these big mansions, these big houses. Look at the swimming pool. Look at this. This is what the dunya sells you. And it's so easy because it's on your phone. Everyone's just like that on their screens. It's selling you the dunya. And you know, before we used to say, don't watch these movies, it's got haram scenes and that. Now, just women dancing around on your phone. It's easy. They're just tempting you. They're probing and prodding at your desires because they know that's what you're built. They have big millionaire companies trying to figure out how to dope you into falling for their advertisement. Selling you a world, selling you a fantasy, a dream that doesn't exist. What's the necessity of life? I told you the true facts. This life isn't permanent. It's built to test and make you struggle. And the second thing is, you're just built to want to live forever, or you desire forever. You don't want. Who wants to die? Nobody wants to die. You just want to live forever. They play on those two things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His mercy, sent the Prophet ﷺ with guidance. He sent the Prophet ﷺ with pure, clean guidance to show us the way through all of this. It frees us from the slavery of this dunya. How does it do that? How many? I know some guys. They have desire wishes. You know what? We're all men. We all have that desire. Yeah. But it's when you become a slave to that desire. That's how do you become a slave? When you because we satisfy our desires by getting married. Yeah, we satisfy it by being responsible. It's a contract of responsibility. An amana. We do it through the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us. Not like animals. But how does it make you a slave if you don't follow that? Is whoever has that girl, whoever has that desire, tell that person, look, delete that number on your phone. Throw that SIM card away. Or, delete your TikTok account with all these stupid videos and stuff. That's when you know if you're a slave or not. If you can do it or not. If you can or not. And if you can't, who's controlling who? Who's in charge of who? Are you in charge or is your desires in charge now? That's why Allah, in His blessing, has sent us the guidance to free us from from being slave to these desires that they're deliberately putting in your face. Because women ain't haram for us. We're allowed to get married. But it's the way they're portraying it, the way they want you to just become shaitans basically, like they do. this is the guidance of truth. Yeah, to make clear from what's rigid to what's disgusting, what's false to what's truth. So the two things I want us to take away from that one example is of the airport, of the traveller, is this world is temporary. It's not our final destination, and our final goal is in the hereafter. And a lot of people can turn around and say to me, well, but these things are halal, bro. We can have the dunya, we can have a big business, we can have. It's crazy. Do you know what? I don't even need to struggle to think of examples. How many people from the married couples, from the elders? How many of you guys expect to go on holiday once a year now? Minimum. We all expect that you have to go on holiday once a year. If your wives are sitting here, they'll be like, no, it's 3 times a year. Yeah. The point I'm trying to say is the expectations that we used to have, it's just gone so much higher. How many of us expect to have not just Netflix, we have to have Amazon Prime and Disney. We have to have all of these things. How many of us, we don't just want Game of Thrones or whatever the shows they're watching. It has to be Islamic drama shows as well. We have to have Ertugrul. We have to have all these Islamic programs. We have to have this. They've Islamified our desires. That's basically what's happened, isn't it? Some guys are smiling here. The Ertugrul series, I've realised it's like so many seasons, and each episode's like an hour long. Bro, you could have learned Arabic by then. You know, if the amount of time if you finish all of those seasons, you could have memorized Juz Ummah. You could have learned the Seerah. There's so many beautiful other things. Bro, forget that. Advance your career, whatever it is. But that. So what am I trying to get at? What am I saying? Do I want you to just sit in the corner and be rigid and not have any fun and do nothing? But what I'm trying to say is, we're allowed a break. We're allowed to watch some TV. We're allowed to play some football. We're allowed to play some PlayStation as a break, as a short recharge, a small thing. But it's become our default, man. It's become an 8-hour binge. It's become a 3 nights of Call of Duty or whatever it is they play. It's become the dominant thing in your life. Is that the life of a Muslim? Where we just binge out all day and night on all these things. It's supposed to be a little break, a little escape, or spend some quality time with your missus or whatever, but it's not supposed to be your default dominant position. And that's what's happened to Muslims. That's what's happened to human beings. We've just become a product to sell to. It's become our default. And businesses, are we not allowed to have businesses and food? And yeah, you are supposed to be responsible. You are supposed to make money. You are supposed to provide for your family. You have to be a man as a Muslim. You have to be that. You have to work hard. But nowhere in Islam does it say you have to become a billionaire and you have to be the richest guy and it's got to be easy and you got. What I'm trying to say is, it's supposed to be a responsibility for your provisions, for your sustenance, for what you need. Pay for your rent, pay for your family, pay for the food, pay for your clothes. It's not supposed to be pay for your free mansions or pay for your Ferrari and Lamborghini. No, it's no one's. And why I say that is the whole world knows it. The rich are how many percent? 1%, 2%. They're the small, isn't it? And the rest are trying to catch up. So don't let them sell you a dream that you're one probably in reality won't even get. And don't make it the thing about your life, the most dominant thing in your life. It's supposed to be responsibility, just to look after your needs, what you have to satisfy, in your family, and then you move on with the bigger goal in life, the bigger purpose in life. If there ever was a person in the whole existence who should have had it easy, who should that person be? It should be the Prophet ﷺ. It should have been him. He is the beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And more importantly, for us here, he is supposed to be he was our guide. He is our role model. There is no your mom, your dad, your teacher, whatever. No, he is our role model for life. But he is the role model. And how much did he struggle in life? How much hardship did he go through? That's the life he lived. He didn't live I need to get Islamic drama series, I need to get Islamic holidays, and we need to make no, that's not. And there's a reason for that. Because he didn't come to teach us a delusion. It's not an illusion, a lie. He told us this world isn't permanent. But we do get our Jannah in the next life. And the reason why I say that is, it's hard, don't get me wrong here. I say it's hard because remember I said in your journey in life, we forget these things. Yeah? Like the other day, I met this brother I haven't seen for a long time. You guys tell me, you lot must all have the same conversation. When you don't see a guy for a long time, you're like, hey bro, what are you doing? Long time not seeing, it's so good to see you. What's the first thing they ask you? What are you doing now? Oh yeah, I've got this business, I have that business. Or I'm working here, I'm on this much salary. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, did you see that guy? He's got this car, he's driving that car. Yeah, he's done it big. He's done it, So in these little conversations, in these things where you're meeting people, in these things you're seeing on your TV, you will get duped. You will get pulled back in through your desires. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this in the Quran. No, this worldly life is no more than play, amusement, luxury, mutual boasting, and competing in wealth and children. This is like rain that causes plants to grow to the delight of the planters, but later the plants dry up and you see them wither, then they are reduced to chaff. You know what, it's a coincidence we're talking about this here. You see movie stars, you see TV presenters, you see all these rich people. And what you see on your social media isn't their whole life. What you see on your screens isn't their whole life. You just get a glimpse of the good stuff. He's looking good, he's got his this and that, he's got his gold on and his rich mansion. You see all the good stuff, a snippet. Look at Will Smith and his problems with his wife. Look at that guy today. I don't know, what's his name? Something?
Yeah.
Liam Payne. Is it? Yeah, Liam Payne. That singer, he died. He's supposed to be rich, the singer, made it all and whatnot. They show you a facade, man. They show you that they've got it perfect. It's a delusion. That's what I say to you. Even the rich and poor, everyone goes through struggles. You might think, but he's got less struggle than I have. No, man. Everyone's built with their flavor. They're built different. Things like what's easy for you might be hard for him. What's hard for you might. Everyone's got their struggles. Everyone's got their tests. But one thing for a fact, everyone's going through struggle and tests. This life is not built for junk. It's not made to be paradise. No one's got paradise on the earth. Everyone's struggling for power, for money, for greed, for luxuries. They've got some sort of game plan. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us. Yeah. So how do we become this person who lives for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How do we get on the right path? Well, first and foremost, you've got to be around the people who are on that journey. If you're going to hang around guys who are doing drugs, if you're going to hang around guys who all they talk about is money, 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 what do you think is going to happen? You're going to become like them. You're going to get influenced by them. It's like a guy who's addicted to alcohol and then he goes and hangs out in the pub. A bit silly, isn't it? You've got to hang out with the people who are on that same journey, who know this life is temporary, who know Jannah is their final destination. Those are the people you have to be around. They're the ones who are going to remind you for your good. Look, brother, that's haram. Look, brother, we need to be like this. Let's go to the masjid, brother. They look after your back because they're not in it for the money. They're in it for the akhirah. Also, you've got to learn your basics, your deen. You've got to know why you're here. What's your purpose in life? Or you can let, like I was saying, the dunya tell you what your purpose in life is. Struggling for Jannah, struggling for Allah. Let me put into perspective, yeah? You know, I know I said everything in life's a struggle, but we all want ease. Somebody could find a contradiction in that. What about the guys who go to the gym and work hard? They're not looking for ease. That's not easy. That's hardship. Or the guy who's like working night and day to make his empire big, 3 or 4 businesses. He wants to expand his companies. He wants to open a shop there, whatever. He wants to become. He's struggling. That's not ease. The point I'm trying to make from here is, yeah, when you have a goal, when you have a desire, when you have an ambition, you will struggle. So if that ambition is to become rich, you're going to go for it. If that ambition is to become shredded and six-packed or whatever weird steroid things they want, whatever they want to do, they're going to struggle for that. And it's a passion. Does anybody have to tell them, hey bro, you need to wake up 8 o'clock in the morning, hit the gym? Does anybody have to tell the other guy, look, you got to stay late in the office or you got to hustle hard to make that money? No. That's their desire. That's their goal. And it's natural from them. If you want to change your goal in life to fit this goal, like I'm saying, which is to reach Jannah, you have to realize, you have to develop a passion. It's not, what I'm trying to say, it's not a checklist. You don't just pray like, I'm just going to get it out of the way. You don't just stay away from haram because it's out of the way. You have to develop a relationship with Allah. You have to develop a passion for this deen, a belief that this life is temporary and the next life is eternal. You have to instill that within yourself. And it doesn't come overnight. For some it does, some it takes a bit longer. But the point here is don't give up just because you failed on the first hurdle. Look, how many times do you hear all these entrepreneurs and businessmen, they tell you, don't give up on your first failure. I'm telling you this for your akhirah. Don't give up just because you failed once or the second time, third time. We are not angels. Allah didn't make any one of us angels. He made us human beings to fall and to get back up, to fall, to get back up, to become stronger and stronger in that journey for the akhirah. There's a lot going on in the world, yeah. You all must have seen what's going on in Gaza. You must all know that there's babies, mums, dads, all dying, getting bombed. It's a genocide. Just want to check, have you all seen that, the video of that, the burning tent, the person in that tent burning?
Yeah.
Yeah? If you haven't, then I can share the story. But if you've seen it, I don't want to. The point I'm trying to say is, there's his brother, yeah? His name's Shaba, and him and his family were getting bombed in a specific area, and then he moved to a different area. And then he was resting in the mosque, just relaxing there. And then they bombed that area, and him and his family ended up in the hospital. And he was on a IV drop. And these dogs, they bombed the hospital as well. And the whole place was on fire. His dad went and he thought, I'm going to go rescue my daughter. Then he went for the next one, and by the time it was too late, he couldn't get to his wife and his eldest son. He just had to shout from afar saying, forgive me, son. Forgive me. And he just burnt. He burnt alive. So what's his test? Why did Allah do that? What's his test? See, if you look at it from the perspective that this life is all there is and all there will be, then you'll be like, that's horrible. It's devastating, and it is devastating. But if you look at it from the perspective, Allah chose him. Allah chose him to be a test, to be a reminder to all of us that it's not just about fixing your individual self. It's not just about thinking about yourself and this dunya and your money and your wealth. Allah chose him to be a reminder to us that we need to wake up and get our act together. Because the hadith says, you must enjoy the good, you must forbid the evil. The best of you the best, not the worst, the best of you raise your hands and make dua, and it won't be accepted unless you enjoy the good, forbid the evil. You have to forbid that evil. Yeah. Afia Sadiq, I'm not sure if you know her story. She was kidnapped, taken to America. She's been there. They've been keeping her in horrible conditions. So this sister, she had to be transported to American prison cell, and they've been treating her horribly. And her mum went to visit her recently, and then in our conversation with her mum, she said she saw the Prophet in her dream. And she asked the Prophet, why am I going through this? And he said, in short, he said, this isn't your test, this is the test of the Ummah. This is their test. And you have to ask yourself, why are we failing? And it's shocking because they mock us, they insult us, the truth is, the Prophet ﷺ said, we will be many, we will be like froth on the sea, but we will have wahan. What's this wahan? He said, it's a love for life and a hate for death. This love for life and hate for death is basically when you embrace their culture, embrace their way of life. If you've adopted their style of living, then the only difference between you is your colour, the food you eat and whatnot, but your ambitions and your goal in life is the same. There's no difference. So I'll leave it there. We can open up for Q&A, inshallah. Jazakallah.